over much of the talent we have here and the analysis we've had from the studio. Still a lot to look forward to, and I think with all trial matches, the first 20, 30 where the combinations are there, that's where we get a really good guide about the side.
Yeah, good evening, Andrew. Good evening, everyone at home. Great to see these two Queensland sides come onto the field as the rain comes down at Cbus Super Stadium, and it's young Walters. Billy Walters gets an opportunity tonight, and you mentioned, you know, what's to look forward to. Well, a lot to look forward to in these pre-season games for the Brisbane Broncos, because Adam Reynolds, yes, is the marquee man, but who will partner him? Will it be Tyson Gamble? Will it be young Billy Walters? Ezra Mann, who we'll see later, a fantastic young star. He'll enter the game after half-time, I would imagine, as we see the Gold Coast side come onto the field. And again, for them, they are building a formidable forward pack. We just saw Tino Malawi, the new captain of the Titans, talking about consistency, and a lot of that's going to come down to the decision-makings of this side. Jaden Campbell, electric last year in his 7 games, 5 tries. He was absolutely brilliant, the little fullback. But who will it be in the halves? AJ Brimson, we understand, is going to play in the 5'8" role. Young Sexton, who we'll see here in the number 7. We're expecting him to steer the side around, and Aaron Clark, so a very inexperienced spine, and that will be where the consistency will need to come from.
Our viewers, Michael, there saw the name Fafita in the back line for the Titans. It is not David Fafita. Young fella Jojo Fafita, 19 years of age, Kiwi-born. Look out for him. So underway, the seasons of the Titans and the Broncos underway. And Brisbane with first use. They played a couple of times last year, these two sides. They split the matches 1 apiece. But as we know, it was the Titans who prospered more as the season went on and played finals football. And Brisbane, while not as bad as 2020, still not where they want to be. Hetherington on that run, one of the players who made his debut last year and now expected to be a permanent member of the 17. Corey Jensen, former Cowboy, with the touch here. Bit of a, well, not a journeyman, but he's been around the block a few times.
Another good carry there from Hetherington. He's been busy.
Dummy half duties with Jake Turpin to start the match, and the first kick of the night from Walters. Fullback and wing, a little bit of indecision there. Tremaine Spry back in first grade, no NRL last year, but we saw him the previous season. Well, a handful of matches. They've got some solid outside backs, and we'll see them tonight. Marju on one side and Spry on the other.
Yeah, just a breakdown in communication there from Tremaine Spry and Jaden Campbell. As the Titans now work it out. Capel getting busy. That's a number of tackles now. Kurt Capel, the first look at him in the Broncos jersey. Came through, played some games in the under-20s for Brisbane, but tonight captaining the Broncos after a wonderful premiership year with Penrith last year.
Left edge is a player by the name of Jacob Arlick from the Burleigh Bears, playing, or former South's Logan Magpie, now Burleigh Bears, getting a chance tonight. Wallace playing it for Boyd and Sexton, and Sexton's pass evades Campbell. That's quite scrappy from the Titans, and McIntyre can't clean it up, and Walters is rewarded for determination and comes up with the ball.
Yeah, not a good first touch there from Toby Sexton, going deep into the line, looking to play out the back as we see Kevy Walters and Alan Langer, two of the greats of the Brisbane club, just watching on.
Fair halves combination. If they give 20 minutes late in the game, see how they go. You know, I reckon they could do Alfie could do something, I reckon. I'm not talking Kevy down. Anyway, on the right edge, TC Rabati, one of the Broncos' finds of last year. We'll go to Corey Parker shortly, get his view on how this unfolds. Early chance. Stags almost away. Great to have him back fit and healthy. Kelly with the ball, 10 metres out, time to kick, no kick pressure at all, and puts it onto the chest of Oates. Ball kept alive. Still the last tackle. Beware the second kick if they can get it in. It rests with Capel. Flegler, has he got a kick? No, Hetherington doesn't have one either. It's as if they're all going to be fine, the forwards, if they kicked.
Yeah, plenty of time there for Albert Kelly to put the kick across for Corey Oates, and it was the play before that excited me. Great to see Tony Staggs. Looks a little leaner. This was the take from Corey Oates. Did a tremendous job to keep the ball back in play, the big winger. But it was good signs early. Tony Staggs just electric down that right edge for Brisbane. Let's hope he gets a full season in.
And now there's a shift on the left side, and Fafita gets an early opportunity Good tackle by Staggs on him, so he'll get a good gauge of his talents. Bit of size about him too.
He's just so defined, Katoni Staggs. He's a ball of muscle, as we see AJ Brimson. As we said before, I think he'll play in the 5'8" role this year for the Gold Coast Titans as Lasone.
He's always been a determined runner. He would be relishing the chance to start.
What happens is he needs to surrender. He takes him.
Yeah, that's what he did. He was trying to
16 games. I really don't think trial first 4 minutes it's worth arguing with the referee.
Probably not a good start. No.
Wallace up in the face of referee Butler. There's Big Sam. Gives us an opportunity to go down to old mate Corey Parker with anticipation level for this one. As I said to Michael, there's so many aspects to this game to look forward to, Corey.
Evening, guys. Well, it's great to have football back on the Gold Coast in Queensland. These two teams, the Brisbane Broncos and also the Gold Coast Titans. You mentioned, Vossi, there's plenty to play for both sides. Well, for Broncos in season 2022, all the word coming out of the Broncos camp is defence, and it must be good. They've been awful the last few years in that area, and I'm sure Kevy Walters will want to turn that around. As for the Titans, well, they come out of season 2021 as the Broncos come left now through Albert.
Yeah, we'll just go with the play. Brenko Lee spinning through a tackle and offloading. Kelly again.
Oh.
That is centimetres short. Check in with Corey again shortly, but he bailed at the right time as he sensed a Brisbane try, almost. Now opportunity, but slowed down. Flegler takes the settler. I wouldn't have minded the full shift. Turpin, Walters, they get a second crack at it. And Walters fanned away, now needs a straight runner. That runner will be Cobbo, and Cobbo, as he lost it at the finish, he gets up a little in between, I must say. Yeah, well, maybe there's a nod, but they will have to check it, of course. Welcome back. It's rugby league in summer, and the bunker's been very busy.
He's at it again, Wallace. Giving the referee's opinion on the put-down. What signs this is for Brisbane, the right edge. The ball didn't look like it was going to get out to Katoni Staggs and Selwyn Cobbo. It eventually got there from Walters. Beautiful footwork on Spry. Booty Moore ends up, and then Fafita comes across. He gets that down.
Selwyn Cobbo maintains possession of the ball and grounds the ball in
I'm
goals.
so excited for
decision.
this year for Brisbane and the potential of this young man, Selwyn Cobbo. Speaking to Corey Parker before the game today, just watching him warm up. Athletically, he is just such a specimen. And to be outside Katoni Staggs, we all know what he's capable of. He could be in for a great year, Cobbo.
We can go to Corey Parker before the kick as we watch the replay unfold. Yes, the wraps on Cobbo are well placed, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely. As Mick just touched on, the athleticism, the size, the speed, the strength, and he's still only 19 years of age. I hate putting tags on this guy, but you think of Greg Inglis at that age, you think of Latrell Mitchell. We'll throw him in the same basket. He's got a huge football career. Whether he stays in the centre role for this time for the Brisbane Broncos in season 22 or moves back to the fullback, we're yet to be seen, with Tessie New under an injury cloud to start the season.
He enjoyed his week in the Indigenous All-Stars camp as well. Staggs returns as first-choice kicker, although it will be the duty of Adam Reynolds once the season proper gets underway. So for a 6-0 lead, and Staggs hangs it out a little bit too much to the right there. Well, Kevy said pre-game that all his halves are going to get 40 minutes each. Kelly and Walters have been very busy early, Michael.
Yeah, they certainly have plenty of touches, and they're moving the ball well. They're offloading through the middle. There's plenty of second phase from some of their middlemen. And as soon as they seem to move the ball to an edge, there's space for them. The Titans' defence is just a little reluctant to come up and in and put pressure on them. We've seen Katoni Staggs with ample time to make some decisions, and so too their new signing, who has gone a little under the radar in Brenko Lee, who's moving well as well.
Yeah, Kevy was a big rap on Brenko, who's got a lot of experience, a few clubs under his belt. But Ed thought had brought plenty to the Broncos in the off-season, and like so many clubs, it's been a disrupted pre-season preparation. They came back after Christmas. 14 players tested positive first day, and so then the quarantine in place. So it's across. It's been the story at every club, of course. Here is Hetherington.
He's been good.
Has he what? 14 games, first grade last year. Oh, yeah, Kelly. Blame me or do I blame you?
No, we'll blame you. It's early. You can go under the bus. First
there goes Albert. So error and unforced at that.
The thing I like tonight about the Brisbane forwards is so often we see them sit back and allow Payne Haas to dominate through the middle. And tonight, without him there, they get an opportunity to really stand up. And I think Flegler and Hetherington are grasping that opportunity early. Jensen's been solid, but I've been really impressed with what I've seen from Flegler and Hetherington in these opening exchanges, looking to get physical, and lead the way.
A number of these Broncos also have a hit out under their belt last Friday week against Wynnum. Again, they won 52-4. Jordan Pereira scored a couple of tries. You're going to see him, the former Dragon, later tonight. Dean Mariner, gun young setter, scored a hat-trick. He will come off the bench tonight. Campbell taken sideways there and now out in front, scooped up by Boyd. Talk about opportunity. Big opportunity for Tanner Boyd wearing the number 9. Halfback days maybe well behind him. Here's Campbell linking up. Nice hands there. Turner's work was really smart. Spry, nice post contact and keep on going. So Titans opportunity for swift reply to the first try of the night. Here is Boyd and Sexton, and now Campbell. Light stepping, unable to produce it there. Walters, the first defender. 10 metres away from the line. Sexton in for Lasone, and that time Turner couldn't offload. Tackler was Staggs. Boyd on the last. Sexton short side. And they call it a knock-on against Albert Kelly, but did prevent the ball getting through the line.
Yeah, chance to run there. It was for Toby Sexton, I thought. You could see him just trying to dribble the ball in behind that. This was the bump from Spry on Cobbo. Boom, just threw him off. And it was a nice play where they came to this left-hand side, and it was Katoni Staggs who made the previous tackle, was caught infield. They only had Kelly and young Selwyn Cobbo out there on that right edge, and there was a chance to move the footy for Sexton. An opportunity gone begging there for the Titans.
Jacob, David tighter, shot clock off. I'm around your second roll. Stay bound.
Still great chance for them.
Break.
Full set inside the Broncos 20. You're watching it live on Fox League. Super Saturday has come early this year. What a beautiful thing. And this time the charge with Jamin Jolliffe. His lone try in the NRL last year was against Brisbane. On for McIntyre. Ruck infringement. And the set starts again. Played by McIntyre. Boyd to Jolliffe. He'd know that he scored against the Broncos last year. I reckon he will fancy his chances. Boyd and Sexton out the back. Well read by the Broncos defence. Loose, and now with Campbell. Lovely step. Bamboozling the Broncos defence. Boyd, then Jolliffe, and then charging outside in line for the first try of the night. They've done the job, the Titans. Relentless attack. Sexton takes the pats on the back. More than a pat from Greg Marsh, who's come in.
Yeah, it was beautiful work from young Jaden Campbell. Watch this, the offload. Just watch this left foot step here. Just bang, just beats Flegler, all ends up. It was beautiful. Got his side, a quick play the ball, and on the back of that, this is something that has really been encouraged, and he's a development coach. He does a good job, Justin Holbrook, and all his forwards, I think, are improving in this area of the game, and something that they really started to develop late in last season, and that's the ball playing. This time it's Jolliffe. Beautiful little one-hand offload, and great work from Sexton pushing through, gets the first try of the evening.
Little unusual though to have the halfback as the hard straight runner in that form. I mean, you'd expect a back rower to be
I think
David Fafita on the left side, or someone like that.
You think of some of the great halves that have played the game that are support players, and you think of Andrew Johns, he'd push into holes like that. Cooper Cronk was able to do it. James Maloney was fantastic at it. It's a courageous line, and that's a good sign from a young man to be able to do that so close to the line.
Debut was round 19 last year against the Dragons. Toby Sexton scored a bucket of points, didn't he, in his 4 first-grade matches. So 6-4, Titans in front against the Broncos. Keenly contested match so far, and a reminder, if you're not aware, Fox is the new home of netball. It begins next Friday. The Super Netball teams go head-to-head in a massive round-robin tournament over 3 days, live and exclusive here on Fox Sports. And I'll say this, I wouldn't mind giving it a crack. If they're down a caller, and I'm taking you with me, Mick. Let's do it. Let's do it. Fox Sports Sport, left, right and centre. And right now our focus is the Rugby League. And back with Greg Marju. He hasn't got any smaller in the off-season. Big Greg.
Jeez.
6 tries in 8 games last year. Wallace, nice play. Turner and Fafita keeps it going for Spry. Got in what appeared to be almost a dangerous position there.
Yeah, one thing we're noticing earlier from Brisbane, Corey Parker spoke about defence. Their edges have been a lot more aggressive than what we saw in the last 2 seasons. We've seen Corey Oates jamming in. That time, Katoni Staggs and Cobbo. Look at this from Branko Lee, up and in the face. That's what you want to see as a coach. You want to see their side up and committed in the face of the opposition.
And it'll be Sexton as general play kicker this time. Titans, who will play in round 1 away against the Parramatta Eels. That is Sunday, March 13. They then will play the Warriors, Raiders, Tigers and Eels again. So it's the vagaries of the draw. They played the Eels twice in the first 5 rounds. I don't understand how that can be allowed to happen, but it does.
Oh, good contact there. Jogged over the top on Cobbo.
Yeah, winger in the call, and they went into a feeding time mode. Jensen, 9 games for the Cowboys last year. Now for Flegler. Very direct attack here from Brisbane. Sonny was able to shut things down eventually. But a fairly engaging first 40 minutes. The 2 sides going at each other. I think both coaches would be fairly happy. Campbell, that's not an easy take. Post and padding all there. And Campbell, young man with a Midas touch. He did very well there. Just natural footy player. There's the pace.
Yeah, ball coming down, greasy, wet conditions. You're right, Fossey. Pad,
Corey, these guys in the middle here.
crossbar, upright to deal with. He did well there, young Campbell. Just Eson Masters on the previous play. It'd be great to see him get back to his best, wouldn't it? He was fantastic for a period there at the Tigers.
Well, Benji in the studio as part of our Fox League coverage, I remember Benji at one stage saying Masters had the ability to be one of the game's best centres.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Cowboys
for whatever
lost his
reason,
way.
just hasn't been able to find his best. Here he is now.
So got another Māori All-Stars game under his belt. Esan Masters last week. He's now played in 4 of them. Here is Boyd. Titans looking for back-to-back tries. Nice and crisp, left side. Good low tackle there, Kelly. Rabati over the top. But this is pressure from the Titans. Wallace, oh, that's a pressure valve relief there. Jolliffe, oh, Rabati back with interest. Kelly back inside. And Mead was stumbling up over the halfway. That's some serious counter-attack from Brisbane. What about Rabati? Walters now. Walters' ball comes loose. Campbell with it. Now the alarm's going off in both sides.
Yeah, that was nice play, wasn't it? Loose ball there, scooped up Albert Kelly. You're right, the counter-attack was brilliant. Here it is, TC Rabati just gets the ball around the corner, and Kelly. And we've seen David Mead light up Cbus Super Stadium plenty of times, but often in the other jersey is a nice early kick here from Turner.
But
no fullback.
I don't know if Tremaine Spry knew about it. He was just dawdling back there. The big fella.
Oh, nice.
Cobbo comes back.
He's got a lot of similarities of, yeah, Corey mentioned Greg Inglis, but so too Latrell Mitchell, doesn't he? Just the way he carries the footy in the big fend and bump.
Now a ruck infringement there. They didn't release Corey Oates.
Yeah, well, the referee, well, that one there we've seen, yeah.
I think so. It is penalty rather than 6 to go.
That's right, inside the 40, isn't it?
So Wallace has been having a bit of a running battle with referee Butler. There was pushed down. And penalty the result. And while sometimes we criticise too many changes of rules.
I
think it's a tweak that was spot on.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I
have minded if they did it mid-season last year, to be honest. As tactically it crept into the game, conceding early.
He's been
counts.
terrific, Hetherington. He is getting on his front every single time, getting a quick play the ball.
Some nice play right up at the line. Jensen and Walters combining there. Now Turpin, left side, Kelly stepping into Campbell and Sexton. So both teams getting ample opportunity to put on attacking plays, having had a bit of time in respective 20s. Here's Walters again, out in front of me, kept going for Staggs. We know he's got a good fend. It's quite the challenge for young Fafita out there.
That was great from Fafita.
Now Cobbo, Fafita's got him again. Well done at marker, doing a job. And that is outstanding from the Titans and this fella. First time we get to see him pass at a defensive assignment there.
Yeah, 19 years of age, young rugby star, and all week he would have seen his name marking up against Katoni Staggs. There's no bigger challenge in the NRL. No more powerful athlete than Katoni Staggs. To have to defend one-on-one, he's been terrific, as we see. The Titans there enjoying it. Plenty of cavalry there on the sideline.
There is Marju again. Just a powerhouse. Greg Marju.
He's lucky not to give away a penalty there, Billy Walters.
It's true, and that would have been penalty as well, as in kick for touch. He's saying, Masters, I'll make this comment and I'll move on. The worst haircuts I've ever seen in all my time following rugby league I've seen so far this weekend on Fox League, the trials. Now the ball is with David Mead. Fair dinkum, I reckon stop-go men have become barbers in the off-season. There are some absolute shockers. Like, you reckon they got a phone call midway through the haircut and just left the chair.
Just watching young Tanner Boyd at dummy half, and we know that that's a position that they're a little bit light on with. Aaron Clark, no doubt, will spend plenty of time there, but with Mitch Rain moving on, an opportunity, particularly in terms of depth. And Tanner Boyd, I think, has been really busy, really active out of dummy half. His service has been good. His shoulders are a little sideways, which is pushing the defensive line and allowing them to release, but he's been good early.
I like the offloading there. Flegler started it. Capewell can run. He stood up Lasone. Then back for Brenko Lee. Broncos fans encouraged watching this on Fox League. A lot of good contributions so far. Kelly's kick looking for Cobbo. Cobbo kept it alive. Now Staggs with it. Another kick. Nice deception to the in-goal. Spry under pressure. Really well done. In fact, by both teams, well done. But Brisbane will get the repeat set and they can have a little drinks break before all of that.
Yeah, really nice sequence, wasn't it? Yeah, good offload here through the middle part of the field, and they found Capewell, big athletic left edge back rower. Made his move up across the border from Penrith after the premiership last year and looked terrific in the opening 20 minutes of this game. His combination already with Brenko Lee's looking dangerous, and on the back of that, Katoni Staggs finds a second kick into the in goal, and Tremaine Spry unable to get out, and Brisbane maintaining possession. Good set of play there from Brisbane.
So line dropout. Capewell, I believe, we'll be talking about him in the context of one of the best signings of the year.
Yeah.
Sooner rather than later. I think Isaac Liu, who we're not seeing tonight for the Titans, can be great for them too. I think that's a winner's, a grand final winning signing, bringing that experience. Hetherington offload. Brisbane on point, some of these forwards tonight. Flegler at dummy half. Kelly drifting across Staggs' way. Didn't find him. Halfway through the set. 9 from the line. Mead with it. This is Flegler again. Another offload. Mead, Hetherington. He will have a crack himself. Kobe short of the line. Lasone there in defence. Turpin, Flegler, crash play and crash and burn. Campbell comes away with it, but no advantage. They can go to the 10.
Yeah, he needs to be better than that, Jake Turpin. Such a pivotal position and trying to play short in these slippery conditions. You know, the players came out to start the game, plenty of drizzle and rain around, and middle forward who's been really busy. Flegler and starting to fatigue a little, dipping him right into the line there under pressure. Not the play from Turpin.
Let's take a comment from the sideline. Corey Parker.
Yeah, trial games are all about opportunities, and we mentioned already about Tanner Boyd, very crafty and zippy around that acting half area. And you talk about Kobe Hetherington. Well, his opportunity came last year, and he's just taken it with both hands. Again, this evening, very busy, poking his nose through. But it's a really interesting one for Kevy Walters and his halves pairing. He's obviously got one more game to make up his mind in terms of who's going to partner Adam Reynolds. And we've already seen some of the Broncos attack as they come left here through the Titans with a bit of space.
And this is for Fafita, away for Spry. Thundering down the sideline. Have a look at this fella. Spry will sprint away to score. 5 games in the NRL in 2020. Missed out last year. Welcome back to this young fella. Scoring a try. A little against the run of play from the last 4 or 5 minutes.
There's a lot of anticipation from the Titans, and this is something that they did well at the back end of last year, and it's Isan Marcy's offloading ability. But a lot of anticipation around this young man, Jojo Fafita, who is marking up tonight on Katoni Staggs. And coming here, you think, well, a young man, 19-year-old on debut, having to mark Katoni Staggs might be in for a tough night. But this battle out on the far side of the field has been anything but. And this is great work. Gets on the outside of Staggs, gets some interest of Cobbo, drags him in, and puts big Tremaine Spry down the far touchline. He just accelerates away from Mead and Cobbo and gets the Titans' second try of the night. Well, nice work from the Titans.
It may be the biggest wing combination in the comp, these two. Tremaine Spry and Greg Marju. There's some real bulk on the wing. But that's a nice moment for Spry.
Yeah, and nice work from Isan Masters, because one of his great features is his offload ability. He's come through the middle of the field, skipped across a couple of defenders and created with a nice offload, and they were able to move the footy out to that left-hand side. It was great work from the Titans, and it was something that caught a lot of sides off guard last year, was the coaching of Justin Holbrook and their ability to move the footy inside their half. And they did it very well, pulling defensive lines apart, and already in the early stages in this pre-season trial, they're doing it well.
Yeah, you're spot on, Mick. And last year we saw that ability that you mentioned. When the teams want you to rest, they want to come at you, and they've done it through that left-hand side a few times this evening and come up with the goods.
They averaged 24 points a game in attack, the Titans, last year. And Sexton's second kick of the night, and he's 2 from 2. Titans lead by 12 points to 4. Trial Rugby League right here on Fox. And don't miss the iconic Daytona 500, the biggest race of NASCAR, just days away. The Daytona 500, the great American race, Monday from 6 o'clock, Monday morning on Fox Sports Channel 506. So 3 tries in total scored in 24.5 minutes. These two sides, their trial matches next week, which you'll see on Fox League, of course. Titans play the Warriors next Saturday afternoon at Redcliffe. And the Broncos against the Cowboys next Saturday night in Mackay. Should be a big one there. Well, the locals coming out for that.
That's another man that you'd like to see hit his straps again. Herman Sasa just has fallen off the radar. Only a couple of games for the Titans since going there. Nice movement again here.
Masters to Marziu. He's put a foot on the line. Sideline official straight onto it. He's only there for a split second. Yeah, Herman Sasa, the story is he's stripped about 9 kilos in the off-season.
Yeah, okay.
So he has had a red-hot crack from day one of off-season training. Said that, I know I can do a lot better than what I showed last year.
Well, he showed great promise, didn't he, in the early stages of his career and over the last couple of
Bulldogs,
seasons. Yeah.
Broncos, Knights.
Yeah, fantastic.
His experience.
Just hasn't been able to get an opportunity to re-establish himself and into the action now. So a great opportunity for Herman to make a real statement for Justin Holbrook.
We've got 6 offloads so far for the Broncos, a feature of their play. Mead and Capewell. By the time round 1 comes around, Reynolds will be captain, but there's no doubt they've signed a leader in Capewell. There's expectations that he will be a leader on field. This is Corey Jensen.
He's been busy, hasn't he, Jensen?
Now Turpin Wide with Walters and Kelly. Staggs, you just got to give him early ball. Fafita's done a good job again. Had a stepping Staggs in front of him. 6 again for the ruck infringement, so the Broncos can settle in front of the Titans posts. 12.5 minutes away from half-time. This is Turpin. Now Walters, nice step off the left. Boyd had come up and was wrong-footed. Now Turpin, left, Capewell, away from Boyd, drifting back infield, has to hurdle halfback Albert Kelly. He was a speed bump. Poor old Albert. Turpin to Flegler, look for the offload, but they've wrapped up the ball that time, or have they? Around the legs, tackle made. And then close to the post, up back, brilliant hands. Capewell now fangs it over the top for Oates. And Oates is 5 metres from the line. And the Titans, well, mission accomplished to hold Brisbane out.
Yeah, great work from the Titans, great resilience. You can see the torque. That's a great pick up there in these conditions from Jake Turpin. But the defensive line intact at the moment. Both sides getting asked a lot of questions defensively for the Titans, and their outside men just working together systematically and working well. This time it's Oates that comes up with the error, and at the moment watching Brisbane, and I know without Reynolds, who will make a huge difference to their attack, it's their goal line attack at the moment needs some work. There's no doubt about that. Anything outside the 20 or 30 metre line where they're moving the ball well with some offloads through the middle, they look good, Brisbane. But once they get inside that attacking 20, it's a little pedestrian at the moment.
So Titans coming away out of trouble again, and a penalty for that play on Fafita, roughing him up a bit there.
It's a real area of the Broncos that they need to really fix up, particularly with their, they've had 2 7-tackle sets, one from that man there, and then they back it up with a penalty and just give the Titans a real leg up out of their own end and don't have to work really hard to come out of that, as we see TC Rabadi try and come up with a big influential play for his team, but in the end just cost him a penalty.
For shoulder charge, strong there on Jamin Jolliffe. By the way, in advance, just to have you on notice, the Titans, we're going to see multiple changes made during the course of the trial. There's actually 3 players on the bench that will sport numbers the same as players in the starting 13.
Good shot, Flegler on SA. Oh.
Get another bite at him. We've got 2 number 1s, we've got 2 number 10s, and 2 number 12s for the Titans tonight. So we'll identify them for you when the changes are made. Now Boyd back in for Wallace. This is the hit.
Watch this.
Rugby league in summer. How good is it? Campbell got away from Kelly. You don't want to look away when Jaden Campbell gets the ball. Boyd on a quick play the ball. Last tackle, Turner. A poke. Not filled up. Oh, Spry. Oh, he had a little gift. It was like a Valentine's Day present for him, all wrapped up. Have a try here. He went over the top of the ball. He could have had a double.
Yeah, it's a nice kick. Turner down this left-hand side, just dribbles it in behind the line, and Mead coming across, he makes a meal of it. There it is for Spry. And he's unable to hang on to it and pick up his second. Titans will maintain possession, though. And an opportunity to extend their lead before half-time.
No, I think they'll rule that Mead knocked back, and I'm happy enough with that. I think Mead did knock it sideways rather than forwards, and the knock-on is against Spry, so it's a double whammy. It could have been try, and ball turned over.
Yeah, a host of changes for both teams. And one man that's going to get a run shortly is Pat Carrigan coming back, and has to have a big year for the Broncos. Pat Carrigan, but looking for that 13 back.
There he is. Look at the hair flowing.
Yes. Haircut is one place he hasn't been in the summer. I like the number 22, the number 20 as well. Ben Liu for the Titans is out there. Young front rower that's been in the Titans system for a number of years, and he's keen to get involved. He's been involved in 4 tackles. He's been on 20 seconds. He's made every tackle in the set. Look at him. There he's trying to put pressure on the kicker. So a high one for Spry. And he's with the ball. He's got the Titan socks down, the compression socks up. Gold Coast back with the ball 9 metres out from their own line. There he is, young front rower. Good luck, Ben, on a big stage tonight.
He's been really strong, Marzu. Beats the first tackle almost every time. Generates momentum in the play of the ball. And on the back of that now, Fafita, a strong carry from the young 19-year-old.
He's got something for Fafita.
Yeah,
I mean, we've just seen enough first half, and we're more impressed with his defence. I mean, he's thrown in, he's made good decisions, really good contact on an outstanding player like the Tony Staggs.
10-40.
There we go, penalty for the ruck infringement. No restart of the tackle count. You get to kick for line, so we're seeing that exhibited tonight. Bit of treatment for Marzu there.
Ready, toss, wait.
So 12 points to 4 and 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Titans making the most of a bit of possession. They've had a 75% completion rate tonight. That's good. They've had 4 line breaks tonight. There's been 7 line breaks in the first half. There's a fair highlights package to put together out of what we've witnessed here. Boyd, flat, Sexton, Turner, and up on Turner there.
Tyson Gamble, yeah.
Tyson Gamble. Something's happened there with the hair as well. There's another one. This time on the left edge with Arlick. Turner back in field, and Liu is there. Carrigan is low down. Zach Hosking is on the field now for the Broncos, son of David, the mule, former Manly, former South Sydney. Strong hit there from Lee. The ball came loose from McIntyre.
Yeah, just watch the work here from that man, Capewell. He's really stiffened up this left-hand side defence. He's come out of some really good systems. And they're just working hard from the inside, making young Jaden Campbell uncomfortable, made him play earlier than he would have liked, and in the end, in these conditions, a forced pass and an error. Already making an impact, Kurt Capewell.
Straight off the arm.
Captain for the night as well. Here is Carrigan and Gamble. TC Rabati.
Again for feet. Strong.
It's just technically outstanding what he's producing here. There's Hosking. Not the same body shape, I've got to say, of his dad, with the greatest of respect. Carrigan. Gamble. Walters! Oh, they called it forward. He was in the process of losing the ball and sort of palmed it off, Billy.
Great character, the mule. Great bloke, David Hosking.
Yeah. Old school, really,
Yes.
wasn't the appearance?
And that time, we saw that last night. It's a tough pass for a young half when you get pressure coming at you from the inside to rotate your body and be able to get that ball to travel backwards is a difficult thing to do, as we see Jolliffe, who's had a really good stint, come to the sideline. He looks set for another good year. He's a great story, Jamin Jolliffe. Was at Cronulla when I was there and just kept working hard on his game and just kept chipping away for Newtown. Got an opportunity to go up to the Gold Coast Titans, and boy, has he made the most of it.
Oh, that's a bad error straight away from the scrum. Could pay the price. It was lost by Marzu. And Oates comes back with it. Yes, the Tonga relief. We show on the screen, nrl.com/Tonga. We're all rocked by the events of January 15th. We can help. There are still those doing it pretty tough. And we're here this weekend over the trial matches. Bringing that again to your attention. Here is Carrigan offloading. Another offload from Brisbane. Opportunity with Gamble, Rabati, Staggs. Fafita's there, he's beaten that time. Well, we've given him the raps, but he was wrong-footed there. And welcome back, Tony Staggs, into the headlines and the scorer's sheet.
Yeah, what a battle it's been early. It's taken a little while. He's been good, Jojo Fafita. He's answered all the questions that have been thrown at him so far in his early stages. But this time, just nice work there. Rabati released the footy early, got him going sideways and just bang, bang, shimmy. And the power and acceleration from Katoni Staggs there. Yeah, made it all too easy. What a player he is. Look at this, just bang. Cuts back on that inside. And gets over for Brisbane just before half-time. As I said earlier in the call, Andrew, I just hope that this kid gets an opportunity to have a full season. He is a supreme athlete with so much ability.
Without doubt, their default side on that right-hand side, you've got Staggs, Cobbo and Rabati, both all powerful runners. But you see, both teams have been a little bit guilty as the fatigue starts to set in 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes out from half-time. They go through the summer, all the pre-season, they got all the flash moves. They come out here, they get their first opportunity, and they try and put every move that they practice on, and they just can't do it in the conditions that we have. The simpler the game plan, the harder they want to work for these things, the better they're going to be. But the teams, obviously, the combinations are, you know, in and out. There's players here, players there. But the Broncos at the moment are able to strike back through Katoni Staggs.
Corey, we've seen Kelly and Walters, and now Tyson Gamble's into the action. We'll see Ezra Mann shortly, I would imagine. What have you liked so far from the Brisbane halves?
Well, the word coming out of the Broncos camp all pre-season is defence. So you've got to work and mark those guys onto the defensive structure. And if we're doing that over the first 40 minutes, you'd have to say that that man on screen, Billy Walters, holds his hands up in that area. The second part to it is the way they're going to dictate and direct the team along with that man there, Adam Reynolds. Now, we've seen the Broncos give away some pretty awful end of sets. That's what he's brought to the club for, Adam Reynolds, with his control, his composure, but more importantly, the way he's able to end sets. So, as Kevy said, it's going to come down to defence, so we'll wait and see who comes of that. They've got 1.5 more games to go, and we'll see.
I figure they have to better, and they have to better by some margin. Oh, quick old bounce, that one. Cricket season still going. The big wrong and
Flipper.
gamble there, hasn't it? Kicked out of the rough.
Yeah, it was like day 5 in Mumbai. That just hit a crack and just went left. Look at that. Poor old Tyson Gamble. Had no idea where it was.
How does that happen in today's day and age?
Yeah. He looked like the night watchman. Look at this.
Look at that. That's a beauty.
Oh, Tyson.
That's a beauty.
Can we do that again? Start again.
That's what you get for a haircut like that. The gods have had their say. Well, straight away, Titans' door opens. 12 points to 8.
Yeah, we'll give Fafita a shot now. Give him another shot at Katoni Staggs.
Sure.
They've looked good out on that left side. Look at Campbell moving well.
All part of the education for JJ Fafita tonight. Masters with the ball. Walters on him. Yes, Broncos last year, 29 points a game was the defensive average. Yeah, it's got to come down. It's got to come down by 10 to be any sort of contender for the finals. 5 away.
Last play.
Boyd. Then, oh, good defence. That's goal line shot. Carrigan there. And Kennedy as well. Now Boyd, Sexton, Campbell, kick. Oh, way too hard. Had the lead foot there, Jaden Campbell. And that'll do us. 4 tries in the first half, 2 apiece. Some good entertainment on a Saturday night on Fox League. The hit out of the Titans and the Broncos at the Gold Coast, 12, Brisbane 8.
For so many of these young guys, they're living a childhood dream, told on Monday morning that they'll be playing an NRL game on the weekend on Saturday night at Cbus Super Stadium in a Broncos jersey or a Titans jersey. And we just saw young Ezra Mann, who ran past there along with young Mariner, 2 excitement machines for the Brisbane Broncos. So keep your eye on those two in the next 40 minutes. Some great young stars starting to filter through this Broncos system. Corey Paix there as well. We've seen a little bit of him at the top level.
Yeah, we'll throw the numbers into the commentary as well just to help you at home identify some of these newcomers. In fact, the bench for the Titans is almost wall-to-wall development player or train and trial. Herman SA was the only one with first-grade experience tonight that is coming off the bench. So we've just got these host of players that are looking for opportunity, looking to shine. And there's the fullback for the second half. So Jaden Campbell's done his work tonight, and young Jalen de Groot now comes on. That is interesting headgear to wear on debut.
The English headgear by the looks of things.
Been in the Parramatta system going some time back. But he's a player that is free running. Great to see a player on the debut wearing black boots as well. Just an observation. Second half underway, Broncos and Titans. And Marzu a player that was very busy in the first half, has the first carry of the second period. Again, we are playing halves and drinks breaks halfway through. Unlimited interchange. But pretty much the clubs follow a script, provided they don't have injury, as far as how many minutes they want their players to appear in.
Looks like Shaylin Fuller's out there as well for the Gold Coast side. A really exciting young half. We just mentioned Ezra Mann for the Brisbane Broncos. Keep an eye on this man right now.
Yeah, he's a footballer as well, Fuller. He is a live wire. In fact, I'm a little disappointed Campbell's gone off, because when they played for the Burleigh Bear Colts there a few years ago, a season that Campbell scored 24 tries, Jaden jokes that Shaylin set up 23 of those 24 tries. So I was looking forward to seeing that combo. Broncos have their first ball of the second half, and the former Dragon, Jordan Pereira, on the carry back there. Let's go to the sideline. Corey Parker.
Well, you boys have already highlighted about the players, some of the big guns on the bench for both teams, and some opportunity, some more opportunity. There's one there that we can see, Corey Pakes. He was touted as a first-grade footballer, in particular, going to be a starting number 9. Has had to wait a few years. Obviously, with the COVID period, it has extended that wait. He gets an opportunity again this evening, as does Ezra Mann. There's been plenty of talk over the summer about Ezra Mann and what's going to happen here.
Ball put down after Lee was putting the moves in. Corey, while I got just on Corey Pakes, just for the record, we've probably told the story previously, but you are the person responsible for switching him from half to hooker, were you not, when you were coaching, what was it, the Queensland under-18 some years ago?
Yeah, we had Corey Pakes. He was a number 7, and we had also Tommy Dearden at number 7, so we need to put Pakes somewhere, so we moved him up into that hooking role. And he did a terrific job for his first time in hooker, and he stayed there. He's got electric speed out of dummy half. Sure, he can read the ruck okay, but he's got a future in the NRL, that's for sure, Corey Pakes.
He wanted to model his game on the one and only Cooper Cronk going back. Studies the game. And he's out there again for the Broncos, looking for a breakout season.
Heads in here, boys.
This scrum 20 metres out from the Titans line. With Paul Turner staying on for the start of the second half. Fuller out the back for Marju. Marju in his first grade games last year was averaging around about 170 metre of running metres a game. I think he'll get better than that.
Well, we're only 43 minutes into the game now. He's just gone over 100 metres already, Marju. He's been a real handful, always coming in, working hard out of the backfield, as we see. Nice run here from Tanner Boyd, been very lively tonight out of dummy half.
Grood and Fuller on the right edge there for Ben Liu. Again with Boyd, last tackle, and this time the kick for Masters over the top. Bounced nicely for Jermaine Asako, who's out there. Big Tino happy with the pressure the Titans are putting on, and unforced error. Rather unfortunate. Ball came down, and Titans with it 12 metres away from the Broncos line. SASA on that play. That is only the first. The context of the game could be some telling minutes this. De Groot's put it down as well. May have got a kick, and it may be play on. He dropped it into the shin. And they will say play on.
Well, that's incredible. This is incredible. He drops it, all ends up, but he drops it onto his shin. And all of a sudden, the Gold Coast Titans, on the back of an error from young Mariner, who scored a hat-trick last week for the Broncos. Look at that.
That's deceiving, that.
De Groot, it is, who's come on at fullback. Just watch this. The ball slips out of his hands, and he just lunges the right boot at it.
You
and
can't.
remains
Can you
spry.
claim that? On debut, you claim that as your big play. That's just...
So tonight around the bar, he says, you know, I just first touch, I skipped on the outside,
Yeah.
just dribbled it onto the right boot.
Took it upon myself to kick on play 2. Opening minutes, Corey Parker. That is quite a touch.
Well, it certainly is. Been watching old tapes of Michael in his kicking game, and he's come up with one of his favourites. But he'll take that absolutely every day of the week. That's a try. It's a try assist for the young man.
Yeah, good work from Tremaine Sprite too, because he just didn't give up on the play, and that's his second try of the evening. And the outside backs, Marzu's been terrific. Spry's been very good tonight. 96 run metres. Corey Thompson to come back into the side as well. So some of the outside backs of the Titans not only getting busy, but showing that they're capable of finishing off and finding the try line.
I was going to say, Michael, the commentator's curse could probably kill COVID, really. I mean, we speared young Mariner. I mean, I've got him possibly the best teenager there is not to have played first grade, and his very first touch, he's spilt the lollies, and now the Titans with Boyd has another string to his bow, but he's pushed it across the front.
Well, it's a great test for him, though, Andrew, because, you know, all the hype this week coming out of Brisbane has been about him and his hat-trick, and all of a sudden he gets his opportunity tonight under the bright lights, up against, you know, NRL players, and all week thinking about it and probably feeling a little bit of the pressure, and unfortunately came up with the error. There's the kick again from De Groot and Tremaine Spry.
So it does count as a kick. That's the thing. It's a kick with an asterisk. Surely you can't.
It's a shin.
It's a shin. You shinned it. New column.
It's a shin of a kick. It's a shin of a kick.
That's why you paid the big dollars. Michael Ennis. That's why we pay him the big bucks. So the Titans with the ball, 6.5 into the second half. They got their third try of the night. And this fella's living up to his raps. Liu, he's really loving his work. Big Evans, he didn't drop it. Penalty goes the way of the Gold Coast. There he is. Bit of size about him, but been tagged for quite some time. And sometimes with front rows, you're not looking for them to, you know, burst into first grade at 18. You give them a little bit longer.
You can see there, plenty of fight on the ground, trying to earn his side a quick play the ball, and he's got his side a penalty. And now all of a sudden they're running with the Titans, and they're deep inside Brisbane's half again to start this second half.
On there. Get another carry. Good play the ball for Boyd. He almost wasn't ready. Fuller just shovels it along for Liu to take another run. Now Boyd. Left side. Fuller with confidence. Just seeing if he does have a few cracks at the line. Again, Boyd. And they kept going from SASA. Some nice hands on the right side. Mariner this time comes up in the face.
Good tackle.
That's a good bounce back by the young centre. With Masters, Boyd has been as busy as any player tonight. Tanner Boyd, and then lost, or was it lost, or a push pass.
Good shot there. That's a really good tackle from Tony Francis. Yeah, it's a wild haircut, but Francis is...
He's got it happening on top, out the back, and on the chin, like a stick-on beard. Tony Francis, have a look at him.
He's in your top 5 for sure, boss.
Yeah. Well, it's neat. At least it's tidy. I don't know what it was modelled on. But he gets an opportunity, and he's in the play early, nice and physical.
It'll be interesting to see what Kevin Walters does this year with Jermaine Asako as we take another look at Francis' haircut. That's a beauty, absolute pearler. There's so much, I think, in Jermaine Asako as we see a loose pass here from the Broncos. He's got so much to give. Got great talent. I don't know where he fits into Kevin Walters' 17, but he's a first grader. We know that the Dolphins have signed him for the following season. Good pressure there from Fuller.
Although, mind you, I think Tyson gave a little word to young Logan Bayliss about the offload when it's on, and get a pass to a man in a better position, not just a heave back like that. So anyway, that's what happens. You know, rookies on show. They're all a bit, you know, cat on the hot tin roof. Understandably so. So Fuller will work this scrum, and the Titans get another go. Spy taken down by Mariner that time.
Good run.
Marzu again. He's left a footprint on the sternum of young Bayliss, I reckon, there. Seriously, he's got some grunt, Marzu, and he runs the ball. There he is, Greg Marzu. This time Lasone.
He's been busy
to the second half. Yeah, well, he always looks like he's carrying a bit, Sam, but that's how he's been his whole career, you know. That's just his build, and the Titans.
Nice ball there. That was really nice work from SASA.
Liu cut down 5 metres out from the line. Is Fuller back inside for Masters. The Titans are putting together some lovely plays. You think they would be disjointed with the changes at half-time, but they look pretty slick.
Yeah, well, again, it's a bit of coaching out of left field, and you can see it's Isan Masters who's been given a roving role in this second half, and that's a number of times he's bobbed up in a unique position. And Fuller, nice vision back on the inside, strong ball carrier, always has been Isan Masters, and does a great job to get the footy down there. And he's been good tonight with some opportunity around the footy, and this time again just finding his way into the game, finding himself through the middle of the field. That was nice play there from Fuller, the young half who's come on.
Really good signs for the Gold Coast Titans and also for their fans and members when they see young guys come on that they don't know, that haven't been part of the main system, their train and trial, and they come in and they fit in and it works. Really good sign. We see the signs of what Melbourne does and also what the Roosters do over a long period of time. Their system stands up. And as for the Broncos, well, they have unable to secure any sort of ball in this second half, completed 1 set out of 4, have just invited the Titans back into the contest, and you do that and they make you pay. And it's been a terrific start by some players that we mentioned already that are just getting an opportunity and they're taking it with both hands.
We saw Aaron Clark last week in the All-Stars, but I reckon Boyd is really putting his name up in lights to be a starting hooker come round 1. And boots the conversion as well. We're not just talking matches on the field and our post-game show tonight, Jess and Cooper and Benji, but then also following the coverage tonight to complete the most thrilling final series we've ever seen. Penrith winning that premiership last year. We will relive that grand final night with the Panthers tonight, straight after the footy. It's brilliantly shot. The couch has added Penrith on the ground, and like the director's cut, the commentary over the top, hearing the players and Coach Ivan Cleary talk about a wonderful night for the club. Their 3rd premiership. Titans, some really good signs since half-time. So Boyd is being left out there, maybe 50 or 60 minute mark, and then we'll see young Oscar Bryant come into the play. They've got young Thomas Weaver, young half, to come off the bench as well. A list of former students of Palm Beach, Currumbin and Keebra Park High. Former students who have played first grade, certainly has had a few names added to it this weekend. Sonne, Fuller, nice hands, Masters. This is bright and breezy. Boyd on the last, and he's taken out of the play by Mariner. Well done, with a bit of marker pressure.
Yeah, good urgency there from young Mariner. Just caught him off guard. Young Tanner Boyd out of dummy half. Not sure when he got out originally that he knew it was the last tackle and tried to get his foot to the ball, unable to do so. But a chance on the previous play from Isan Masters, who had 2 unmarked Titans players on his outside. And the Broncos defensively are starting to lose a little resolve. 22 points on the scoreboard. You mentioned Andrew averaging 29 last year, and no doubt that would have been the focus for Kevin Walters coming here this evening. He won't want this scoreline to blow out. We see Pakes out of dummy half.
Pakes is away with support. He went right. Perhaps he could have gone left. There was some serious chasing done by the Titans. Pereira plays it. Still on for Brisbane, and then not on for Brisbane. Put down by Ezra Mann.
Yeah, you won't be happy with that, Kevy. It was a great run. Pakes out of dummy half. Corey Parker just talking about the speed that he has and his understanding of the ruck developing. The more time he spends at dummy half, that was a good run. He should have gone left. He had Ezra Mann looming on his outside. And Kevy not happy with that. Tyson Gamble jumping in at first receiver, and it was a tired pass around the feet of Ezra Mann, who's unable to hang on to it. There you see 10 line breaks for the evening. Both sides throwing caution to the wind. He's enjoying himself, Corey Oates. Corey Parker's just had a laugh with him as he walks past.
He's having a laugh at what was on his top lip.
Break!
Titans back in possession with young Fafita. So high hopes about Mam progressing, and sadly for Mam and Mariner, big raps, but their first involvements are not great. Mam last year when he made his Infra Super Cup debut, 3 tries for South Logan. Was busy last week against Wynnum as well.
Nice ball.
He's Fuller, he's everywhere. Masters, then on for Spry. He's had a night out. Tremaine Spry. The Titans since half-time. They look a well-oiled machine, and this is with players all over the place from what you will expect come round 1. Justin Holbrook, I'm sure, taking plenty out of this. Back for Fuller. To bomb to the corner. It's a fair leap. It may have been touched by Spry. It's ended up in the hands of Osako, close to his own line, and does well to make 15 metres. And he will get a penalty out of that. And they can kick for line, but second half completion rates, it makes disastrous reading for Brisbane.
He may have touched the hand there of Tremaine Spry as he was coming through. Got away with it, and in the end a penalty from Masters gives Brisbane a nice opportunity to get some cheap metres out of their end. You mentioned Sam Lassorna. His ability to ball play through the middle, he is a big man, and his deception, he's got beautiful soft hands. The way that he can deliver a pass deep into the line is really causing the edge defence of Brisbane a lot of trouble.
So Brisbane inside the Titans half. And Gamble with a little shot at the line on them. Pakes lively again. As Marcus turned around. 11 from the line, played by Jensen. Right up on the advantage line with Kennedy. Kept alive now. Gamble wants to go long. Puts a kick in behind them. It goes all wrong.
He hasn't had a happy period, has he, Tyson Gamble? I thought he brought great energy to a pretty flat Brisbane side at times last year, but his touches here in the second half particularly have been a little short of what he would have liked, and I don't think that would have impressed Kevin Walters either. Here's Marzu now, and he's up towards 140 metres carrying the footy tonight.
Titans in a recovery set mode after all of that. They've settled down. They're certainly dialed in Gold Coast, what they're producing right now. This time, McIntyre attacked that left edge, putting a bit of pressure on Gamble in defence that time. Moved quickly by Alec. And then for Turner to find Big Francis. He looks an imposing figure out on the left. They're 15 from the line, Turner and Boyd. I still don't know whether anyone's going better than Boyd. He's been outstanding. Masters then, Spry to Groot. There he is, the shin kicker. He's gone over for a try now. Jalen de Groot, welcome to the big show. Try assist, and now try as well.
Yeah, great moment for the young man, and it's a beautiful play. Again out on this right-hand side, the combination of Masters and Tremaine Spry wreaking havoc, and on the last, they look to run the footy. The Gold Coast Titan, Boyd moves it. They finally find Fuller. He dummies to kick. There's Masters. Nice out ball there to Tremaine Spry, and looming up back through the middle, de Groot picks up his first try, and again, it's on the back of an error from the Brisbane Broncos. A poor kick down the other end from Tyson Gamble. Gave them a 7-tackle set, and de Groot unable to get it down at the start, and then bang, there it is. Just touches the grass and gets himself a nice try. The young man, he's been good since coming on. And the Titans, you're right, Fossey, they've been very impressive. All the young stars have obviously done plenty of work over the summer, and their combinations are showing in these early stages of the second half. And for Kevin Walters, he'd have some real concerns, particularly over his left edge defence that had the experience of Kurt Capewell and Billy Walters in the first half, Katoni Staggs and the like. Out there with Branko Lee as well in that first half. He was out on that left-hand side, and at the moment that left edge just getting pulled to pieces.
Brisbane have been left in the blocks after half-time. 3 straight tries from 12-8 to 26 points to 8. Sexton 2 from 2 with a boot. Boyd is 1 from 3. The rugby league family coming together to support Tonga. It was January 15, the volcano, the tsunami destroying homes, roads and farms. A month on, communication lines still under repair. Families still struggling to access drinking water. Have a think about that. So we try and do what we can. The NRL partnering with the Australian Red Cross through the trial matches to raise money for the recovery efforts in Tonga. For more information, you can support. Visit nrl.com/Tonga. Titans in possession, 26-8. A reminder, they will feature next Saturday afternoon at Redcliffe against the Warriors, and the Broncos to play the Cowboys next Saturday night in Mackay. That's a forward pass there, blatantly. So it's a big day next Saturday.
Yeah.
Super Saturday is 4 matches.
Yeah, belter. I think the last one
games.
kicks off at 9 o'clock. Is that right?
9 o'clock New South Wales and Victorian time with daylight savings. Yeah, that's well and truly forward. But 4 games back-to-back on Fox League. Does it get any better? I mean, divorce lawyers at 10 paces. It's just, it's summer and you're putting 4 games on back-to-back. Fox League is the place, the home of the best sport in the world. Charity Shield among those 4 games out at Mudgee next week. Ball held at the scrum for Campbell to do some nifty work. And that looked forward. Seriously, Tyson Gamble. That ball was forward to young Mariner.
Yeah, on the first play too, off the scrum. That was never on for a young Mariner. Look at this, he goes deep into the line. It's forward by a metre. And young Fuller sitting right in the face of Paul Mariner. Kevy Walters, yeah, he's not happy, and he's no doubt he'd be concerned because this 5'8" role is so pivotal. Who partners Adam Reynolds is the biggest story around Brisbane at the moment. They've got some wonderful outside backs. They've got great forwards, some really good young forwards coming through. But who partners Adam Reynolds is vital for Brisbane's success this year.
And part of the downfall with coming into a trial game and knowing, or everyone knows that they still yet don't have a number 6, is when you get your opportunity, you try and do everything you can and sometimes overplay your hand, whether it's a forward pass, and you get limited opportunity and they just try and do too much. Poor old Tyson Gamble, he's come up with a poor pass there. He's had a 7-tackle set off a kick. So, I mean...
I think it's concerning, Corey, that, I mean, you would imagine maybe that Kevy, you know, so close, he's got in the back of his mind who he wants to be at 5'8", but these last few weeks should just be absolutely fine-tuning that combination because it's a new one.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
If we're still sitting here wondering who's 5'8", 2 weeks out, I think that's a concern for Brisbane.
Fuller's kick just a little too far. By the way, don't adjust your sets, James. Little slip there for Ethan Quay Ward. Don't adjust your sets. Jamin Jolliffe hasn't put on a wig, so his number 10 is now being worn by Fasua Malawi. Young Isaac, the younger brother of Tino, is now out there in number 10 for the Titans. We'll see Cleese Haas in jumper 12, and we've been watching Jalen de Groot in the number 1 jumper as worn by Jaden Campbell in the first half.
They run out of jerseys, did they, on the Gold Coast?
Well, it's an argument for another time as we watch Brisbane go. I don't have
Peter Wynn would be having a heart attack.
I was happy to get a GoFundMe page for a few extra jumpers and just a few numbers on the back this week. I thought it may have been possible. Here's Pake centre field. Man with it. Floats it over the top, and Quay Ward's at a minute. He lost his footing down the other end and he spilt this one.
Surely a couple of those blokes that have had a few schooners in base 17 would be happy to take off their jersey for the second half.
Just a number. I mean, give them 97, 98, 99. Wouldn't really matter, but to wear the same number? Give them letters. Anything that differentiates them from a player who was on the field earlier. Got me all worked up, Michael, over the numbers.
Good to have you back, Andrew. Yeah, good rugby
wish I could say the same to you, Michael. I was happy not to see you to the autumn.
Well, Katoni, he thinks it's funny too.
Well, he knows humour, doesn't he? He's a good judge. It's 26 points to 8. Titans over the Broncos, Saturday night on Fox League. We've got the Panthers special coming up after our coverage tonight. Jess, Cooper, Benji back in the studio.
Oh, good shot there. Nice.
Need to follow up now, try and force an error.
Yeah, no surprise it's Hetherington.
Winning's not the crucial thing in trials, but I don't like seeing blowout scorelines.
No.
I don't think the Broncos wanted any worse than 26, to be honest.
Where do they improve defensively, Corey, do you think? I mean, last year, almost 700 points they conceded. Now, Adam Reynolds won't fix their defence. He's been brought to the club to be able to steer their attack and obviously brings great experience and talk in the defensive line, but where do they need to improve the most defensively?
Well, defence is built on structure and systems, as you know, Mick, but I mean, for the Broncos, they completed 4 sets here this evening in this second half, which just gives them no opportunity whatsoever to build any sort of pressure and put some fatigue into the Titans. Where do they need to improve? Well, they've come up with a drop ball to a penalty. They've come up with an error. They've come up with a 7-tackle set. They've come up with a penalty after that. It's just compounding error after error, which then they think they scratch their head behind the trial and think all we've been doing is tackling. It makes it very difficult. It starts in the middle. It starts by winning the ruck. It starts by earning that collision and then dominating from the back of that. It starts with those little effort areas. We spoke in the opening 5 and 10 minutes on some of the effort areas that we saw from Capewell coming from the inside and really shutting down or putting pressure on Campbell to make him play a little bit earlier. But as the game's gone on, the fatigue set in, it just seems to be the same old storyline for the Broncos off the back of some poor, ill discipline with the ball.
Hetherington can't direct any criticism at him for his effort tonight. He's Rabati on the edge. But for all we see in attack, it is the defensive issue that's going to be under the microscope as Gamble goes very high. The leap was a little early. It's bounced up for Mam. Score. Cheeky. Another one. Welcome to first grade. Ezra Mam scores a 4-pointer for the Broncos like he was playing backyard footy.
Yeah, this was nice. Gamble went to the air and, you know, just look at the acceleration out there. I think it's young Mariner. He does a good job to get in the frame, so too does Zach Hosking. And it was enough just to unsettle Marzu. And there's Ezra Mann. We all know he's electric. He puts himself in great positions. Nice little cheeky dummy there and burrows over. He gets himself his first try.
Yeah, he could be something, this young man. Ezra Mam, had a chat with him. We've been around filming for The Fan on Fox League, and Ezra was confident enough to come on camera. Hasn't played first grade, but told his story and talked about the debut last year in the Intra Super Cup. And he went from, you know, total nobody to making his debut for South Logan, to being the Intra Super Cup Rookie of the Year, to being the South Logan Player of the Year at 18. I mean,
it's a great story.
Yeah, he was on the rise. So over to Osako, who is, as we know, Redcliffe or Dolphins bound, based at Redcliffe, and successful for their first conversion of the night, 26-14. 12 minutes to go. We've got plenty of cricket still to come. There's still one more of the T20s, Australia and Sri Lanka, but we have got the Test series against Pakistan coming up, and it will be right here on Fox Sports. That is live and exclusive on Fox Cricket. Don't miss a minute of the 3-game series.
Yeah, Greg Marju coming from the field, and 162 running metres tonight, 5 tackle busts.
Kickoff taken by Jordan Pereira. He's got a couple of tries last week for the Broncos against Wynnum. Did Pereira. Now this is where any number of players by the end of tonight will have had something like 45 players used in the game. Hetherington with yet another run there. Now Gamble kicking from inside the 40. He's got the distance on it, and it runs a little straighter. And Tuapiki is now at fullback in the headgear. Was able to watch it go over the dead ball line. It is Tane Tuapiki at fullback here for the Titans. The efforts of Jojo Fafita, certainly one of the the good stories tonight. Real name Sisefo, but everyone knows him as Jojo, so much so that the cubicle, the signs everywhere, he's just Jojo Fifita, and we're happy to go along with that. Not a name we're likely to forget.
I think what he's shown us tonight is that we'll see him play some first grade this year. There's no doubt about that. He's handled the occasion extremely well. As we see an error here. Young Pakes just coming out of the line and putting some pressure, nice pressure there on McIntyre.
Run previous to that, Michael, was pretty fearsome from Charlie Murray, who's out there in jumper number 19, but that's a good shot from Pakes.
Yeah, Pakes from the inside, and Hosking, who's been very tidy as well at times for Brisbane tonight.
All right, we've now got young Oscar Bryant out there as well for the Titans in jumper 21. It's a remarkable story. I don't know whether I have time to tell it about Oscar Bryant and Thomas Weaver. They've been playing together since the under-6s. Their dads played footy together. Their mothers went to school together. Every side they've made throughout their lives, they've made them together. And here they are tonight, first big TV game together. Mammers with the ball, bumping, and beating three, and now stepping.
How good's that?
Hello, Ezra. And then he lost his footing. Probably should have got a penalty there, or a set restart at the very least. Corey Jensen to play 10 metres out. They're coming with a little run here, Brisbane. With it is Gamble. And Gamble for Asako, and then some juggling, and a bit catastrophic, all of that, to be honest.
Yeah, that was way too hard, that pass there. Not sure if he was trying to go long and hit the winger, but it rocketed into TC Rabati, the big edge back rower. Watch this. Yeah, just too hard. Rifles into the chest and bounces off TC Rabati. But you're right, leading into that. Now, we just spoke about the defensive concern for Kevin Walters. But I'm sure he would have been pleased in that last 5-minute period just to resolve that and try and fight back to get back into the contest. Ezra Mann certainly brought a bit of life to their attack. Plenty of thinking for that man, Kevin, over the next fortnight before the competition starts.
Titans back with the ball, and with it is Fifita, yet another carry. 20 metres out from their own line. They've scored 5 tries to 3, the Titans. Round 1, their opponents will be Parramatta. You'll see that on Fox League. And Broncos will feature round 1 against South Sydney. They play at Suncorp Stadium on the Friday night. Here is Bryant offloading to a Fasua Malawi, and then either offload or lost ball. Either way, it's an error against the Titans.
Shot clock's on in the middle.
Isaac unhappy about that. Same physical dimensions as Tino, big brother.
Yeah, it was a good shot. Ezra Mann, the young half who's just come on, really physical, getting his body in front, lunging with his right shoulder. Plenty of sweat around the football, warm conditions, a bit of rain early in the evening. Ball was slippery, and that's exactly where you want your target, around the footy. And that was enough for big Isaac Fasul Malawi to drop the footy. Here's Gamble.
6.5 minutes to go. Asako with the ball, able to offload. Pereira now headed cross country, and Bryant there with Charlie Murray to make the tackle.
I think he's going to prove a handy pickup, Jordan Pereira, for the Broncos this year.
He forced the set restart there. Hetherington offload, Pakes, switch, Asako, dummy and run. He's only 5 from the line. His dummy got him past young Weaver there. Now crash play, TC Rabati. A wall of Titans defenders there that time. Pakes. And up with Jensen. This is where they need their halves to take ownership of the play. I'm sure Kevin Walters would like to see that, although Pakes has just gone from dummy half, a real wrestle.
Held him up.
I don't think he's got it down. Tain Tuapiki has come up with a try saver of the year.
How did he hold him up? Just watch this.
Got it held on. Let's confirm doesn't get it down on the first attempt there.
That's a brilliant effort one-on-one. Paix low, burrowing in deep. The ball only millimetres off the line, it looked like, and somehow he keeps the ball off the deck.
Doesn't look like a try scorer, does he, Corey Paix?
Look, watch this.
It's amazing.
Ball's currently up at the moment.
This is amazing.
Gets his
Still up on
legs
the leg of the
underneath.
defender.
Moves his body underneath. That's tremendous.
I ain't playing Twister with Tuapiki.
Ball's still up and possession is maintained.
He'll be the Olympic champion. The moves he's got. How did he do that?
Yeah, that was a nice moment for young Tuapiki.
The tackle is now complete. The ball is up. We have a decision.
Former student of Cbus State High, Tane Tuapiki.
Wait.
He's playing it cool there, but inside he is.
Oh, he's wrapped with
How good is
himself.
that? That is a great play. So Broncos still with opportunity. Hosking to play it. Last tackle. If they're to get something, any chance of a result, they need points here, and they may still get them.
Shot clock is on.
So 5 minutes to go.
Comes in the middle.
But I do want to see halves take ownership here and really ask some questions. I'd like to see Man get more touches of the ball in this set.
Yeah, plenty to work on, I think, for the Broncos over the next few weeks with their goal line attack.
Shot clock off. Ball in. Break.
They come to the right side. Gamble lurking. Asako went in off the wing. In fact, it was Fafita who made the tackle again. Good offensive work by this fella. Remember, they got Patrick Herbert, who was the ace defender last week at the All-Stars game, who can crunch as well. Now Paix, Hetherington, Gamble, away from Fuller. Gamble back to the right, and Oscar Bryant drives him back.
Shades of Paul Vaughton getting in underneath the fiery red, just driving Gamble.
Great stuff. Caleb Hodges involved in the tackle as well. Good moment for a couple of the rookies. Brisbane with it. There he is, Oscar Bryant. And with all that pressure, they've forced a mistake. They're happy, the Titans. They've come through a little examination of their goal line defence. And what's more, in the 77th minute.
Here it is, look at this. Good technique under the ball, driving, jamming his right shoulder in under Gamble, driving him back. Lovely tackle technique from the young man. And there's the loose carry there from Hetherington, who's worked hard. He's worked very hard for Brisbane, and they like that, the young rookies from the Titans.
I'll give the other Oscar Bryant link with the young man who just fed the scrum, Tom Weaver. As the story, like they're basically brothers, as the story went, Weaver was in the birthing suite the day Bryant was born. Like, the fathers played footy together, the mothers went to school together. They played footy together all their life, and here they are tonight on the same stage on Fox League playing for the Titans. Now, what if their careers say...
Well, where's this story go? Because 5 minutes ago you started drip feeding it to us. Now we're at the stage where they're in the birthing suite together.
That's right.
We've got a couple of minutes to go. Where's this going?
Well, yeah, they are 20 years on. They're being called by the great Michael Ennis. That's where the story's gone. And that's the end of it. Now the Broncos with a ball, and Jensen it is. Score this set. Convert, maybe snatch something. Paix has got another go. Tuapiki can't stop him this time. He's had a real big go this second half, Corey Paix.
Yeah, he's been terrific at dummy half. A great line break earlier in the evening. And a couple of times he's threatened close to the line. He's quite crafty and creative. I think as the season unfolds, I think he's going to put real pressure on Jake Turpin at dummy half. Turpin's come into the side, and to me, it was a real spark when he first got his opportunity in the Brisbane lineup at dummy half, but at times he just survives to get through the 80 minutes without any threat from dummy half. This young man has grabbed his opportunity and shown that he's got plenty of creativity. And you need that these days. You need your dummy half to be active and asking questions. I've been very impressed with Paix, and I think he'll put pressure on Turpin as the season unfolds. It's healthy. It's healthy to have pressure in key positions. It's been good tonight, Paix.
90 seconds to go. 26-20 the scoreline. Well, the Broncos haven't dropped their bundle. They've got something out of the second half. It was looking awful the first 20 minutes after the break. Tackle put on there by Caleb Hodges. Pereira. Good runner of the footy Jordan Pereira.
Yeah.
Hetherington, nice ball play there. Gamble and man with the ball. Turns them inside out almost. Spry's having done of it. Look at him. Man, we've been teased by a couple of his touches so far.
He looks good, doesn't he?
We might get
Really
to see
sharp.
him next week again against the Cowboys.
Release! Holding, please, go for.
Pates and going right side. Gamble getting a little better now. Asako kept alive. Lee with it. Then the ball. Pereira. Kick it found. Beautifully done. Lee scores the try. Jordan Pereira is welcome to the Broncos fold with open arms by the fans on what they've seen tonight. And will kick for 26 all. We'll kick
chance
for a
to go to
draw.
Golden Point in pre-season. Really nice right-hand side raid there. Gamble going deep into the line. He found Asako, who summed things up beautifully. So too did that man, Brecko Lee, the try scorer. Just watch this. There's Asako. Nice soft hands as Fafita jammed in. And great work from Pereira. Great skill. Off balance, kicking on the inside of his right boot. And Brecko Lee pushing back through the middle gives the Broncos a chance to kick for a draw, and it was looking horrible 20 minutes ago as the rain streams down. Well, do we go to Golden Point, Andrew? Do we go to Golden Point in pre-season?
I'm happy with rock, paper, scissors. I got to be honest, if they want to stand out in the middle and determine a winner. Now, what about this? It's almost like a movie now. The rain is at its absolute heaviest. And Jermaine Asako, who's landed 2 from 2 since coming on, he probably doesn't want to know, but I'm backing him in.
Yeah, I am too. I think he'll start it just outside this right post and bring it back. Rain streaming down here. Kick from the sideline.
Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy.
Conditions are beautiful down here, guys.
Good luck to you, Corey. You can walk home. Here's the kick. Asako at 26-24. Try to imagine this is last round of the Premiership. Asako right to left, you beauty. Yeah, beauty. 3 from 3. They've scored 3 converted tries to get out of jail in a trial and, well, deflect what would have been a high-pressure week if it had got out of hand tonight. Well done to their spirit to pick up. I think both teams will take a fair bit out of tonight. They've each scored 5 tries. It was 4 points the difference to the Titans at halftime. We've seen some young players shine tonight. We've seen some seasoned veterans like Jordan Pereira make a little statement ahead of round 1 in a few weeks' time. But the Gold Coast and Brisbane, they will go around next week. The Titans against the Warriors, the Broncos against the Cowboys. But tonight at Cbus Super Stadium, the Gold Coast and the Brisbane Broncos have played out a 26-all draw.